Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto here for the Wasteland Reviewer YouTube channel, and I'm here to review Ouija, Origins of Evil. Now, I'm going to preface this, I do not like horror movies, I don't like being afraid, and I went to go see this weekend, and honestly, I heard it got some pretty good reviews. I was expecting, it's like, okay, this is a really well-made film at least. I was terrified. I was shaking in the theaters, and my chest was tense for like the next 20 minutes outside the theater. Took me a little while to actually calm down, but that's coming from somebody who doesn't handle horror very well and is big baby when it comes to that. But overall, this was a really great film, and honestly, I was not expecting this because I remember when the first film in this franchise came out, and it was just complete garbage. But honestly, the choice of bringing in Mike Flanagan, who made Oculus, he wrote and directed this film, and he did a fantastic job. And you can tell he cared about making a great film. And this took place in the 60s, and how it was made looked like it was a film made in the 60s. It used the retro Universal sign, retro looking title cards, grainy film looking cinematography, and the set pieces were fantastic. And this was just so well put together, and it was a great made film. And some of the techniques that Mike Flanagan uses in this, and he gets rid of that obnoxious horror movie thing that most directors do, is like loud music whenever something needs to happen to scare you. That's not here. And three things that he utilizes so well in this film. One is that when you are going to be afraid of something, it's because it's just there. And you're not manipulated into freaking out because of some music. And if you're like turning and something just is there, and that's what's terrifying. It's not telling you to be afraid, it's just natural. And another big thing utilized in this film is deep focus. So where everything in front and in the background are in focus, and those little things, just seeing things in the background that are just terrifying. And that was so well done in this film by Mike Flanagan. And honestly, just the techniques, and the biggest thing that was terrifying is the building of suspense throughout most of the film before you just go full blown shit show, honestly, towards the end of the film. And you're building up that tension, but and then it doesn't pay off. Nothing happens, and you're sitting there like freaking out because you thought something was going to happen. And that's used so well in this film. It's fantastic. And the pacing, you get a chance to really care about all these characters, and they're real people and real depth given characters with characterization and feelings, and you understand them, and you feel for this mother played by Elizabeth Reaser, and the daughters Annalise Basso and Lulu Wilson, and you just care about them. And when all this stuff happens, you can't help but feel for them. And honestly, the big standout, Lulu Wilson, who plays a little girl, so creepy. Oh my god, this little girl was fantastic. One of the best child performances I've seen. And honestly, everyone just does such a great job of, you feel for them, and when this stuff actually happens to them, you can't help but be like, you want them to all get out of this. Most horror movies, everyone's a bunch of cannon fodder, and it's like, okay, let's see some crazy deaths and stuff. It's like, you don't want anything to happen to these people because you actually care about them. And Mike Flanagan's writing and bringing those characters to life was so fantastic. Another standout, Henry Thomas, little boy Elliot from E.T., growing up playing a priest in this film, and he has a lot more depth than you would expect. And you feel for him too. And overall, I was shocked by this movie. It was so well put together. Everything. There were some CGI moments that were a little odd placed that popped up towards the end of the film. And I will admit, getting into the climax of the film, they do divulge into some horror movie like, are you really gonna make that dumbass decision kind of thing, and you kind of lose some logic. and that doesn't take away from the film. But me personally, I don't like most horror movies, and I don't like being afraid, and I don't like how most horror movies end. They're there for this cheap kind of like leaving just like nothing's okay and just like there to scare you kind of thing. And honestly, this movie kind of divulges into that a little bit. But overall, the music choices are fantastic. The editing, all the technical stuff. This movie was so perfectly put together. And honestly, I'm gonna give Ouija Origins of Evil an A minus, and I highly recommend seeing this film. If you're into horror, you have to see this. You can't pass up on this film. Go see it.